Good morning, I think. I'm having one of those mornings. It's take three already. Yeah, we had six games last night, Saturday night, and each game seemed to have some kind of big playoff implication. Um, Either teams fighting for a playoff spot, a playoff berth, or a reduction of a magic number, something like that. So let's get right into this. Again, this is take three, so I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible. Columbus River Dragons earn a split over the weekend with the Carolina Thunderbirds. They win last night 5-2. And this was a very important win for the River Dragons as it reduces their magic number to clinch officially a playoff spot down to 1 point. Yeah, they're going to be in. Sellout crowd taking this in. They saw the Thunderbirds grab an early lead on a goal by Yuri Pastuka, only goal in the first period. In the second period, the Dragons come on a little bit. Shots in the first period were a little more wide open. It was 17-13 in favor of the Thunderbirds, and then the defense on both sides kind of started to clamp down a little bit. But the River Dragons were the ones that were going to take advantage of their opportunities. It's Alexander Jemayev scoring at 7:43, Alex Storjahan at 11:50, and then on the power play at 13:17, it's Cody Wickline scoring. So within about just a little under 6 minutes, the River Dragons ended up taking a 3-1 lead. Now, Thunderbirds would come back, goal by Gus Ford at 17:48. We make it 3-2 at the end of two. Shots through two, 26 for the River Dragons and 25 for the Thunderbirds. All right, we get to the third period, and the River Dragons made the most of their opportunities. A shorthanded situation, and Cody Wickline scores again. 7:25 at the time of that goal. And then Ryan Hunter scores at 9:33 for a little exclamation point. And we end up with a 5-2 victory. Matt Petesian played very well in goal for the River Dragons. He stopped 35 of 37. Austin Doe, great night for him. 3 assists, a couple of goals for Cody Wickline. Despite having the goals from Gus Ford and Yuri Pastuka, Thunderbirds just didn't have enough last night. They have another chance against the Blue Ridge Bobcats this afternoon at 4:05. Mario Cavallari. I don't know where the Matt came in. Oh, yeah, Petesian. All right. Anyway, brain does funny things early in the morning. Cavallari stops 27 of 32. And again, the River Dragons' magic number is now just 1. The big battle in the Empire Division, as there is just one playoff spot left up for grabs, and it's between these two teams. Venom, they continue to go through the gauntlet. This is their 4th game in 4 days. The Rockers, they end up pulling ahead late third period surge. There was a huge momentum shift in the third. We'll talk about that in just a second. So a 5-2 win by the Rockers, but it was the Venom early getting the lead. Raul Sharma, who's played well despite the team's struggles. Sharma, just wasn't able to come up with enough magic. So in the first period, it's Stavros Stoilis, just 2 minutes and 12 seconds in. He gets the Venom on the board, quiets a crowd of 10:56 as Stoilis beats Gonzalez, and it's 1-0 early on. Now, the game was tied up by Yegor Kabatayev at 9:49, but then 14:06, it's Nathan Butler on an assist from Stavros Stoilis. So Stoilis had a great game. Gives the Venom a 2-1 lead at the end of one. The Venom outshooting the Rockers 17-14 through that first period. Second period, the momentum started to shift. It's Eli Rivers scoring on the power play at 18:42. Once again, penalties are the Venom's undoing. So at this point, it's just 2-2. Shots through two were 27 for the Venom and 26 for the Rockers. And then in the third period, key moment of the game, 12:01. There is a juicy rebound given up by Rahul Sharma. He thought he had the puck covered. He did not. The puck was still loose, and Cody Oakes flips a backhander over a sprawling Sharma at that point, and that gives the Rockers the lead. The Venom think that the officials should have blown the puck dead, but you can see clearly on the video the puck was always visible. It was out there. Sharma did not have the puck covered. And so the end result is Stephen Ford gets 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike plus a game misconduct or a 10-minute misconduct. But by that point, we're under 10 minutes, so it's a game misconduct. And there was also a delay of game penalty on the same place. So the Venom end up shooting themselves in the foot twice. They're down 5-3. And TJ Sneath scores on the first power play at 13:24. Josh Colton scores on the second at 13:53. So within a 1 minute and 52 second span, the Rockers got the 3 goals, and that was a complete momentum shift right there. And the Venom end up shorthanded once again, or on the short end of the stick. They fall to 11-31-3. The Rockers are now 16-29-3. But more importantly, they have now built a 13-point gap between them and the Venom. So at this point, with 40, with 8 games left to play, the Rockers now have reduced their magic number to 20, which I know sounds like a lot. But a 13-point gap, that's going to be tough for the Venom to overcome. Ricardo Gonzalez stops 38 of 40 for the game for the win. Rahul Sharma, 44 saves and 49 opportunities. Goal and an assist each for TJ Sneath, Stavros Soilis, and Eli Rivers in this game. So that was the big Empire matchup. Now let's talk about the big Continental matchup. Can be summed up in one word: goalies. Wow. Amazing play from both Greg Hussey and Sammy Bernard in this game. Just an absolute goaltending clinic. It's unfortunate that somebody had to lose, but yep, the Bobcats did earn the split for the weekend. They really needed these points. So this was a really big win for them. Very, very important. The power play, that was the key for this game. All 3 goals that were scored in the man advantage. In the second period, because nothing happened in the first, well, I can't say nothing happened, but no goals. It was Michael Mercurio scoring on the man advantage of 14:28, and then Nick McHugh gives the Bobcats a big 2-0 lead at 18:44. Shots were through 2 periods were just 22 for the Zydeco and 27 for the Bobcats. But again, just the amazing saves being made by both goaltenders was just absolutely incredible. Greg Hussey stood on his head. Sammy Bernard used his head to make saves. The game was just absolutely incredible. The energy was really high the entire game. Both of these teams fought tooth and nail. It was a very clean game too. I've got to say that. The game was very good. There was only 5 penalties, I believe, for the entire game, and 3 of them ended up with a goal as an end result. So it was kind of interesting. Third period, Shane Haggerty, he gets credited with a goal at 12:55 to get the Zydeco on the board. It looked like Scott Chirac tipped the puck, but in the end, Haggerty was given the goal. Chirac did get a secondary assist. So the Zydeco on the board. We head into the later stages of the game, and Hussey makes huge saves after huge saves. Bernard makes huge saves after huge saves. Listening to Brian Flores with the call on the Zydeco on the Zydeco YouTube stream was just a lot of fun. Really high energy, and he loves goalie saves, so he had a ball in this game. So in the end, though, it's a 2-1 victory as time runs out for the Zydeco, and Hussey stops 37-38. Bernard, in a losing effort, stops 34-36. The goals by Mercurio, McHugh, and Haggerty. Dan Klinecki also had a couple of assists for the game for the Zydeco. So now, all right, for the Bobcats, excuse me. So now, both teams, their magic number is 11. As Monroe in 6th place is trying to catch them. I think they're running out of time. It's looking more and more like this is going to be your play-in game for the Continental Division. And if it's anything like what we've seen this weekend with both games between these two, it's going to be a fantastic, fantastic game. So, the anticipation is already building for that. It seems like that's what's going to end up. The only question is, who's the home team? The 4th place seed gets home ice advantage. Right now, that belongs to the Zydeco, because even though these two teams are tied in points, the Zydeco have more wins. They are 26-15-6. Blue Ridge is 24-19-6, both with 77 points. So today's game with the Carolina Thunderbirds is huge for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. They need points out of this game today. The other game, of course, is going to be between the Rockers and the Venom at 2:05. All right, final game that I watched last night. I tell you, it's funny. The Wolves jump out to a 4-0 lead in this first period. It's all Wolves, and the Binghamton fans are clamoring for CJ Hatward's head on a platter. Not really head on a platter, but pull him, get him out of the goal. Binghamton find themselves down 4-0 at the end of one. CJ Hatward getting the start, and a couple of soft goals, a couple that he couldn't have done anything about. It wouldn't matter who you had in goal. The Wolves were clicking offensively in that first period. Trevor Lord, he gets things started at 9:24 with a 2-on-1 goal. At 10:20, it's Andrew Whalen scoring through the 5-hole. It's Lord scoring again at 11:58. So just 2.5 minutes. It's already 3-0. And then David Gaeta, just to boot, he scores on a power play with a big rebound given up. And 17:06. So it's 4-0 Wolves. And Hapward is scratching his head a little bit. Again, the Binghamton fans are saying, get it out, get McAnanama in. Meanwhile, on the other end, what's not being talked about is Anton Borodkin stopping 18 shots in that first period. He was looking really, really solid. But Binghamton, you just had a feeling they were going to get on the board, and sure enough, second period, it's Gavin Yates scoring on the power play. That's the first tally. Then one of the new kids, one of the college kids, Nick Swain, he gets on the board at 4:15. It's 4-2, and you just felt right there. Yep, the script has just been flipped. 9:11, it's Dan Stone scoring again on the power play. The Wolves got themselves into penalty trouble, and the Black Bears converted. So we went from 4-0 at the end of one to 4-3 at the end of two. Binghamton with the shot advantage, big time. 18 shots in the first period, but they couldn't crack Borodkin then. But then they got 23 more shots in the second period, and 3 made and passed. 18 shots on goal altogether for the Wolves, 9 in each period. So, a big shot advantage for Binghamton. And in the third period, they just continued. Scott Romikers ties it up at 111. That yeah, that was the kind of the moment where you knew this wasn't going to end up well for the Wolves. Cam Clark scores again on the power play at 5:09. Nick Swain scores again, so 2 goals for the recent Collegian. He scores a 16:43. That makes it 6-4 at that point. And then a late situation, Brodkin is briefly pulled, and I do mean briefly. He was literally out of the net for a grand total of 11 seconds. And Chris Mott scores on a 2-on-1 breakaway, 19:31. And there you go. It's a 7-4 comeback win for the Binghamton Black Bears. With that win and with the Columbus win, the Binghamton Black Bears officially clinch home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. So that is done and established. For the game, Ramekers, a goal and 3 assists. Dan Stone, a goal and 2 assists, and 2 goals by Nick Swain. In the meantime, in that first period, the Wolves got 2 goals and an assist from Trevor Lord, and a goal and 2 assists from David Gaeta. Also, Trevor Graspy chipping in a couple of assists as well. Brodkin stops 58 shots, and it's not enough. 58 of 64 in 59-49 played. The Wolves, they now lost 4 in a row, and they are quickly losing ground. They are now, as I wrote down here, 11 points behind the Port Huron Prowlers with just 8 to play. So they may be the ones that are hosting the play-in game for the Empire Division. They fall to 25, 20, and 3. The Black Bears are 44, 5, and 1. So those are the games I watched. We just a couple games, and in Danbury, it is the Hat Tricks earning a 6-3 win. This really, this was a better game than I think a lot of people anticipated, especially after Friday night's 9-0 whitewashing of the Dashers. But Dashers, once they survived the first period, because shots, as you can see, were 21-3 in favor of the Hat Tricks in the first. Once the Dashers kind of got past that point, they played decently. So the game-winning goal wasn't scored until 38 seconds into the third, and that was who else? Johnny Ruiz. Ruiz ends up with 2 goals and an assist on the night. So Frankie McClendon, not terribly busy. He makes 25 saves, 28 opportunities. Parker Rutherford, not as busy as he'd been the previous 2 games, but he still makes 48 saves and 54 opportunities. Shots on goal in the second period were 19-13 in favor of the Hat Tricks, and then 14-12 in the third. But you did get goals from Quinn O'Reilly and Juwan Davis. So the Dashers are in it. But yeah, too much offense in the end. The 2 goals by Ruiz, a goal by Harwell, a goal and assist by both Vasiliev and Vadim Frolov. So they handle things very easily. A great crowd, 23-17 in the Danbury Ice Arena. And they watched the Hat Tricks improve to 30, 12, and 8, solidly in that second place spot. Dashers fall to 2, 44, and 3. I don't know why it came out like that. So the Hat Tricks now 10 more points, and they clinch that second spot in the Empire Division, which is huge because that means home ice advantage. So that's a good thing. Final game. Yep, we have ourselves a shutout from Yoshi. Just his fourth decision this year, but he's unbeaten. He's 4-0. And Yoshi Kuroiwa, I can never pronounce that last name. That's why everybody calls him Yoshi. He stops 24-24. The Mississippi SeaWolves are blanked by the Port Huron Prowlers. The funny stat of the game, not really funny, but it's just kind of like, yeah, that sums up the game. Reggie Millette scoring the game-winning goal at 46 seconds into the game. Richie Perrin stops 45 of 51. Ed Coffey was unavailable for this game, so he was going to be playing the whole game. Richie Perrin, that is, because the backup goaltender, who was Elijah Gibbons, was just an e-bug. E-bugs can't play unless there is an injury. So, shots in the first period, 21-11 in favor of the Prowlers, 15-8 in the second, and then 15-5 in the third. So, Mississippi not generating a lot of offense, 24 shots on goal to 51 for the Prowlers. Prowlers, they get balanced scoring. DeCumbus with 2 goals. Scandalbury had a goal. Alex Johnson had a goal. He had 2 goals from Reggie Millette. Couple of assists from Graham, Lackney, and Heinzel. So, yeah, everybody got in the scoring act. So, the Prowlers are now 28, 16, and 6, solidly in that third spot. And they have the longest winning streak currently in the FPHL with 7 games won in a row. Mississippi falls to 11, 36, and 3. And that wraps up everything. Of course, these two teams are idle. Don't forget, this afternoon we have 2 big matchups, especially Carolina and Blue Ridge. This is a huge, important game for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. And we have the 5th game in 5 days for the Venom. They take on the Rockers once again. They desperately need a win as well. So there you go. I will be next on YouTube on Tuesday. We'll be doing news and notes. Tomorrow we'll be summing up the 2 games for today on the Flash Audio Network. Make sure you're following me and are subscribed there here on YouTube. And of course, follow me on Facebook. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash, and you all have a wonderful week ahead.